Thomas Wake out here with your new moon. Let's get into it. All right. This is happening right now, my friends. How exciting. Taurus season. Arguably, definitely the best season of the year. It's the middle of spring. Life is in full force. It's fixed. The senses are heightened. Love in the air. This is why we have Beltane after Baal, after the Baal of Taurus. So when we let the cows out, who let the cows out? Moo, 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 moo. What this does, and this happens to be happening in the seventh house if you are, I think, at least in Florida and New York. Anyways, the full moon happening in 14 days from now, in 2 weeks, is going to be in Scorpio at a later degree. Now, what you want to do now, and be careful, you could have a one night stand in 2 weeks from now, it'll come back and sting your ass. Taurus, they could be kind of hoes. They're into the sexual world, but not as bad as like Gemini or Sagittarius is and Pisces. Um, Tauruses, they're more loyal and faithful, and they're slow moving, so they might take their time to get into a relationship. But there's some Tauruses who, depending on your Venus placement or your Mars, whatnot, and your Moon, they be out there hoeing the field, or hoeing in the club. Now, what this is, it's a great time to really get into your sensual world. To take the baths with the soaps and the ointments and the lotions. You put the lotions on it. The sensual world. We're in that world right now, the five senses that Venus is in charge of. Hence, we have the five-pointed star on our flag. It also has to do with Minerva, who is also the goddess of strategic war. As opposed to Mars, Aries season that we're just coming out of, that we just have Venus in right now, and Mercury about to leave. Chiron at the early degrees, but that's a whole other story. But when we have the personal planets, all the personal planets are going forward. We do have Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, all in retrograde. Neptune, not too long, will join that retrograde movement. But what we have all the personal planets forward. So it's almost like the higher gods are like peeling back or like tying themselves back to let like the children run out and play. Or the warriors to go out to the front line and freaking die. So don't do that. It's not time for that Arians energy so much. We gotta look where the sun is. The sun's the center of the solar system, our system. What's the sun doing? It's in fixed Earth, Taurus. Yes, we have Venus behind it in Aries. We got Mercury behind it in Aries. But then we got Mars out in Gemini leading the way. Now, Mars in Gemini is starting to having all of this energy to start a bunch of new things. But that's not necessarily bad because the sun, there again, is in Taurus. And now we have the moon there, a new beginning in the earthly material practical realm. This isn't a time for out there Piscean energy of, especially with the square to Mars, that we're getting off of at least. And Mars is opposing Jupiter. This could be overexpanding yourself, but also having some energy for some big dreams, big goals. Also giving somebody that energy to be a spiritual freaking jihadist, so be careful for that. Now, with this in the world of seventh house of marriage, of legal binding documents, of business partnerships. All new things happening in that world. But we got Uranus, who's at the third degree. At least the sun passed that. The moon just passed that yesterday. So pat yourself on the back that you got through that. That's unexpected technological stuff. I could have felt a little bit Mercury retrograde-ish, especially with Mars out there in Gemini crickets, Gemini. This is lots of excitable energy that we're having to ground. Take your freaking spinal cord. You could be laying down. I recommend, and the ancients recommend sitting freaking Indian style and pretend your freaking spinal cord is an antenna, but also a grounding rod, and shoot it down into the very red core magma of this earth. Ooh, you just feel that open up? I felt that. And now I want you to even go deeper onto the spiritual level, to that world that we can't even see with our physical eyes. That is infrared. And now I want you to envision this. I'll give you a freaking look at what is happening inside. This is called
Mathematicians call this pattern the torus. The energy in a torus flows in through one end, circulates around the center.
This outfit is for it's Derby Day. Horses. An earthly thing. Tauruses. I got Taurus twin sisters because they got Gemini moon. See how this plays out? And they love animals. Oh, Virgos as well. Capricorns, somewhat, but I would say the least of the earth signs. Now, this is the Taurus. Bowl, bell. It rings like a bell. This is the center, your sun.
And exits out the other side.
Put that up. 2 pi squared.
Mathematicians call this pattern the torus. The energy in a torus.
This is the tree of life. As it comes up into the leaves, here's the roots. This is where we're grounding our root chakra now. Now, you imagine this, and you could see this when you close your eyes. You'll see colors. The bottom has to do with like Pluto and Mars. And now also, but see, it kind of goes like in circles. So we have the tree of life on here, the chakral system. Hang in there with me. This is going to be great for you in meditation. And you'll be able to open up the freaking 7th seal, the 7th chakra on your crown, ruled by Kronos. But then he also rules the earth, Saturn. See? So there you have kind of a ring. In the middle, though, Venus, but Venus in the earth too. Venus is green traditionally. But let's just get through this. Okay. This is what happens when you put the positive and the negative cubes together. The cube of Metatron, of Megatron. In the middle, the 12 lotus leaf of the 12 freaking petal leaf of the heart chakra, the 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 apostles.
Circulates around the center and exits out the other side.
That's what our aura, aura.
And always whole.
One more time.
Mathematicians call this pattern the torus. The energy in a torus flows in through one end, circulates around
Imagine that.
and exits out the other side.
Woo!
It's balanced, self-regulating, and always whole.
Dang, yo. This is the time of year to do that. Now, if you don't overindulge in your physical senses,
Now, last time, if you recall, we ended with the
if you don't spill your seed, you could be oversexed. You could overeat, overdo everything. That's Jupiter expansion. What we want to do, we want to be that alchemical magician. We're going to tap into this Saturn energy, who is self-disciplining us. And the more we self-discipline, the more greater our experiences. That's what Jupiter's all about, experience. And then Pluto giving us a great opportunity to transform the way that we do that alchemical juggle. That's freaking beautiful. And we're going to have Saturn retrograde moving closer to this sextile between Neptune again, giving us a little bit of compassion and mercy in this lesson of karma, all on this south node. This chart doesn't have the nodes. Well, here's the north node, opposite 19 degrees, the south node. Luckily, the south node moves a little bit faster retrograde than Saturn. Not that much, though. So they're going to be pretty much conjunct. This is almost a conjunction. It was, and now it's backing off a little bit. It's going to be conjunct December, January 2020. Hide the kids, hide the wives. This is our time to prepare for a whole new world. A dazzling, scary place. Don't let it be. Use this magic and make it. What did Plato have? A freaking ideological world. Don't give your energy to this pessimistic world, which may be freaking reality. Create this better reality as a co creator in this very earthly season of fixed. There's a reason why the gospel writers wanted to use the four fixed signs to be the resemblances of the four gospel writers. Because the fixed sign, bam, you put something into place, it's going to stay. You're not going to use a mutable cross if you want something to stay. You use a mutable cross if you want to dissolve something. The cardinal cross if you want to start something. All right, that was a pretty crazy reading. I mean, I'm doing general readings for the month. It's almost, that's pretty general. If you want to get specific, you want to find out what houses these are in. Book reading with your boy. I'm doing a special. $50 freaking dollars. Email me. twake at astrowake.com. Check out astrowake.com. Got some healing time. Homosexual healing, baby. That's also a good time for this, but don't overdo it. Hey, there's a time for feast and famine. I don't know. Perhaps you've been tapping into your Saturn energy and it's time to let loose a little bit, player. We do have Cinco de Mayo. P.S. If you're trying to if you think we should just lock up all the immigrants and you have no love and mercy and compassion, Venus at a higher degree, Neptune, the Christ, compassionate energy of Pisces season of the fish, of the Jesus, the Son in Pisces, the Son of God. If you don't have that, I don't want to see you out there with a sombrero and a fake mustache drinking a freaking Corona. Corona, the crown of Coronos, my friend. The crown of thorns is also the corona of the sun. Saturn used to be our old sun. Father time, old man time. Here we have in conjunction between this Pluto Saturn to Mars. that could be not knowing how to direct your energy into a new project, being a little bit too scattered out there with Mars and Gemini. What other aspects we got going on? Well, I guess in a week or so, we're going to have Mars moving into Cancer. That is going on the defense. Traditionally, Mars does not like to be in Cancer. So we go from like fire to water, air, right? Air and fire are the masculine energies, water and earth the feminine. The wheel alternates between masculine and forward. So it's going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out, coming in. So we want to see Mars, Mercury, and Venus, the personal planets, are always within a sign or two, sometimes three, rarely, of the sun. They travel together. That's our personal planets. Then we got the higher ones, the communal parents planets. That was a Freudian slip. That was actually deep. Working outside, and then we got the ones out beyond freaking Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, working outside of the outside, going slow as shit. They're we call them generational planets. And so sometimes those aspects, if they're just making aspects with like say that that sextile between Saturn and Neptune, those are outer planets. We're not gonna. They'll be harder to really feel. If you take a step back and look at a longer time period, you'll be able to catch those things. I love astrology, and I still have to get so much better at it. But there's dudes studying astrology for 30 years, still learning more every day. Some days I wake up, I'm like, I'm not even gonna look at a chart anymore because I don't know shit. And other days I'm like, man, I'm really catching on to this. I bet you that's the same for every freaking astrologer. Oh, hold up. We got a T square. We're coming off that T square. Whenever we have a T square, I like to see what's opposite of the central point. And so that would be 18 degrees of Virgo. And and that's bringing us like to our Taurus. It seems like grounding, earthing is the remedy to things right now. We don't have much water. We're lacking a little bit water. Our north node there asking us to be nurturing. And I feel like right now with this energy in seventh house, and then the full moon's going to be in Scorpio, which is about relationships, deep relationships, intimacy, relationships with death. I'm not talking necromancy, but a time to perhaps not go too deep into relationships right now. Just enjoy them for what they are. Fun. Towards just love to have fun. In 2 weeks from now, you'll be asked to go a little bit deeper into those things. That could be good. You could have a deep, meaningful experience, encounter, intimacy with someone, your spouse. Meditation. If one thing the ancients say, the Neoplatonists say, is for men, and I'm sure it goes for women, but for men, the spilling of the seed, masturbation. Like if you go to the etymology of it, now there's a time you want to be comfortable with your body and self. I'm not being this orthodox rule layered down, but alchemically speaking, they talk about how you want to is sexual tantric. This is old as old of preserving that chi energy, that kundalini energy. We raise those serpents up through that color spectrum from the red of Mars, the root chakra of passion, to orange of that expansive Jupiterian energy, to yellow, the solar plexus, the sun, into green, Venus and love and the earth and our heart, up to Venus into our throat chakra, which is blue. From the green to the blue, we go up to indigo. The it's a lighter blue here. It's a darker indigo blue here. And then we go up into violet. And then we explode in this orgasmic opening up of the crown and third eye chakra, which is ultra violet. And we release love. We have a high vibration. We build this up. We bring it back in. We redeem the earth. We bring the earth up with us. We join in her healing powers. And we go down into that red that is lava, passion, and love. We bring that up. And we continue building this. And it spirals in the middle. And it's like this net. And that is what everything is on the smallest wave level. In the middle, go to my other videos. I'm getting a little bit out there, but I invite you to practice this in meditation. You'll see it's the common thread syncretic through all the religions, the Nagas, the snake imagery. We slay the dragon, that is our carnal nature, so that we're not just going around in survival mode, in introspected world. I mean, it's good to do that, but not self-involved world. Take care of yourself. You're the most important. You're the only one that you could be responsible for here. But don't get lost in yourself. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself into the service of others. I'm going to get my tarot card. Hold on. Dear, let's travel beyond the limitations of our five senses and go behind the veil where our higher self, I and I, dwelleth and liveth and reigneth forever, evermore. What card would like to speak to us? The juggler. Remember we talked about juggling? Now there's an alchemical process there, and what you do is you pick the one that's working for you, the project that gives you more satisfaction and fulfillment, and perhaps even more material gain. I mean, not to be shallow, but this is a time of the year when we think about the material realm. Where it's time to plow the field, to get out there to start the harvest. We have this in Virgo season, which is those times. With Mars and Gemini, we kind of have this dual aspect, which is that looks weird. Psychedelic cards. We're starting lots of projects, and like we want to use good discernment on which ones are the best, and it's ultimately to how do they make you feel. But now we also want to look at the practicality of them. I have a hard time doing that. This Uranus energy can lend to headaches, anxiety, nerves attacks. This Saturn Pluto energy, depression. This Taurus energy gives us a good escape from it, but don't overindulge in it. With Jupiter and Mars opposing. Here's another Pentacle 9, working, looking at our harvest, waiting for it, trying to discern which of these ones to pick to go to. Multiple job offers, perhaps. Which one do you want? Look at the practicality, balance that out between fulfillment. And have a little faith. Jupiter and Sagittarius rewards those with faith. And Mars and Gemini give you that added energy to go out there and start looking for other jobs. Perhaps you're at a job that you're comfortable with, but I invite you to go fill out some resumes, applications, and cast some lines out there. Who knows what you might find? Golly jeepers. One last card. Extra corny dressing like this, like Orville Redenbacher. Blacka, blacka, blacka. Orville Redenbacher. Let us see if there's another card I would like to holla. Oh, the Page of Cups. To me, that's talking about when Mars is going to go forward into Cancer. And this is also like you courting somebody or courting somebody else with the seventh house energy. And Taurus seasons, Venus, dog. Venus love. Volare. When the moon hits your eyes, be open to love. What the hell? Why not? All right, let's go to the Oracle deck. Pick one last card. I love you all so much. I really do. I'm using this new moon energy to really try to do some. Capricorn ascendant. I have the Saturn Pluto South node. First of all, South node conjunct my South node, and then all this happened in my first house, intensivo, and then Uranus on my freaking opposing my midheaven, my imum cole, my lower heaven. Opposing my natal sun. It's exciting. You want to learn your birth chart. I beg you. I'll do more videos on reading birth charts. But for $50 for me to go through your birth chart, I feel like I'm almost doing an injustice. Put your boy out here. I sincerely want others to learn, and sincerely trying to get some of that Taurus money. Taurus sees about what's Taurus's color. I mean Venus's color, green. Taurus, I have. Trees, earth. What's money made of? Trees, earth. This is money making season, baby. Don't be cutthroat. Make sure that it's coming from a good place. Karma ain't the one. Success. Ah, nice. It's a mandala. I know that there is no greater goal than to love, is the very text to go with the success card. I know that there is no greater goal than love. Not money, but dare I say, love money. We have a relationship with it. Love, everything's got energy. Everything's alive. You look, nothing's really solid. Everything's moving. This energy. And you could feel some type of way next to a glass right before of water before it freezes. It's gonna have some. If you're feeling rage, it's gonna have this janky pattern. If you're in a place of serenity and love, it freezes. The molecules are these beautiful patterns. The same with our relationship with money. So what we do, here's have a wallet that is actually that you care about, that has meaning to it. That's why they tell you it's bad luck to like burn money, or I mean there's a point to do to make a point and to show us that how we're so materialistic as a world. So but then there's a way to be spiritual about money too. And is you have a relationship with it. If you have a relationship, a good relationship with somebody, they're gonna want to be around you. If you have a bad relationship with something, like money, it's not going to want to be around you. Woo! Signing off.